Today we are blessed. Today we are blessed that we are hosting our Jaja, our mentor, someone who has nurtured us, mentored us, been there for us, to train us, equip us with skill, to make sure that we are able to succeed. He has a wealth of experience. Today he's over 40 years in near life. And whenever these kind of people who have been around for over 20, 30, 40 years, whenever they are around, whenever they are speaking, it is only wise that we listen to them carefully, note down everything they say, and then go ahead and apply it, because whatever they share is their experience for all the years that have been around. So today we are blessed that we are hosting our judge, Mr. Mike Vanderventor, author from Cape Town, South Africa. Please, Mike, you can take it on. Hey, Mike, I think you need to unmute yourself, Mike. Sorry. There you go, Mike. Sorry. You can unmute yourself.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good evening, Justice, and everyone there on the call.
Good evening.
I'm feeling a bit jealous, knowing that you're there in Western Uganda. When I was in Uganda last time, and I had the privilege of being there with you. It was such a wonderful experience. So in my heart, I can just imagine you guys down there, and I really feel a bit left out. But be that as it may, I'm happy to be able to join with you via the Zoom and the social media that we have available. So before I start, I just want to recognize the fact that one of our Dennis, from my side, I hope you enjoyed the day. I'm sure you did, being busy with what all of you did, and may the new year be blessed and very, very successful. So yes, Justice mentioned the convention in Dar es Salaam. Now, for all of you, that's a long way off. But I want to share something with you of the time when we started in 1983. Now, I was in full-time church ministry. I never thought I'd do anything else, except at that stage, my salary was simply not enough. And then New Life came along. We saw the opportunity and we decided, well, we've got nothing to lose. I didn't have to give up my work. I thought, and that was the sort of the limit of my understanding, that my wife could go and sell some Super 10 and LDC and G1. Those were the big products those days. We didn't have all of the products we have today. And I thought, well, why not? So we got started. And just the month after we started, the company had a big convention, probably about 1,000 kilometers from where we lived. And my sponsor said, you need to go to this. And I said, I can't. I haven't got the money. But somehow God must have moved me, because I borrowed the money and I went. And I still believe, and I not gone to that convention and seen the big picture, seen the heart of the business, seen how people benefit far beyond what I thought was possible. I might not have been around today, and you would definitely not have been around. So I really want to urge you, look at something like this, not as spending money, but as investing money in yourself and your future. I'll tell you, you'll be blown away by that convention. And what that will do for you is it will motivate you and put fire under you, seeing what is possible and what is happening. And then just always reminding yourself that if other people can do it, you can do it too. So you should always be saying to yourself, if they can, why not me? And with that kind of motivation, there's really no ceiling, because New Life offers us such a big opportunity, an international opportunity. Now, that's always been the case. But, their COVID actually did us a big favor, because that forced us to go to social media, Zoom and WhatsApp and Facebook and all the others. And through the support that the company puts out through the back office and everything that is available on social media, we today can successfully build our business worldwide. So, it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter where you begin the business. You might be in a small place and think there isn't much scope, but we are not limited to our immediate surroundings. And that is so wonderful. Now, I'm going to speak to you tonight about building a lasting generational business. And what I mean by that is you can build up a business that can be there for your children and their grandchildren and on, provided it's built correctly and solidly. Now, you will understand that the business model we work with is called network marketing. Some people sometimes talk about multi-level marketing. It's the same thing. There's a lot of prejudice against that, people who don't understand, who think that network marketing is a pyramid scheme. It's far from that. It's a legal way of doing business that's been around even longer than New Life, which is 65. It's internationally recognized. Your own government recognizes this as a legal business option. We registered, we pay the taxes and everything. So don't let everybody ever confuse you about that. Now, to build a lasting generational business through the network marketing model, you must realize that there are three pillars that the business stand on. Firstly, there's the company. Now, in our case, it's New Life. And I am so grateful that it was New Life that found us and not any of the other companies, because at the time when New Life found us, there were some other companies, they're not even around anymore. Since over the years, many other companies in South Africa, also in East Africa, have come and gone. Some stayed, but I'm truly grateful and blessed to be part of New Life. It's such a solid company, more than 50 countries, been going for 65 years. Through the research and development and the ethics of the company, we have products that are unequaled. There are people who also sell vitamin C and vitamin B like we do, but quality-wise and in terms of what the product is able to do, there is no other company, none, that can supply the quality of the products that we have. And on top of that, we have some very unique products like 3N, products like carotenoid complex, our salmon oil, just to name those three. There is nothing compared to that. There is no other product like 3N. There's no other product like carotenoid complex. So apart from the product base, we also have the company infrastructure, the warehousing all over the world, which means we don't have to worry about shipping products to America if you happen to get somebody started in a business there. The company provides that infrastructure. And then the IT support through the website and all the backup that gives us. You know, what always amazes me is that I'm blessed to earn from about 27 different countries, and 2 days after month end, our money is in our bank account, in my case, in South African rand. All the taxes have been paid in the different countries that need to be paid. All the different currencies has been converted to my home currency, and within 2 days we get paid. Not even the very biggest network marketing company in the world can manage that. One of their distributors told me one day it takes at least 2 weeks for them to get their money. So the first pillar of our business is as solid as we can hope for, Neolife. The second pillar is you and me. And then the third pillar is the team that we put together, that we surround ourselves with. So on the one hand, there's Neolife. On the other hand, there's the team that we need to develop, because on your own in network marketing, you can never really become financially free. But in the middle stand you and I. We are at the heart of our business. The company is there to support us, and the team is there to, in the end, carry us, if I may say so. But none of those two will materialize if it's not right with us. So I'm going to share my screen because I want to okay, are you seeing my screen yet?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. So let's just get this going. Okay, let's move beyond this. What I'm saying is it's all about you, as it is about me when it's about building our business. So what about us? The first is we've got to ask ourselves, do I have dreams and goals? You see, nothing will make us work if we do not have a reason to work, a reason to get up, a reason to move ahead, even when we might not feel like it. Those would be our dreams, the things we want to achieve. I remember when we started, my biggest dream was just to reach the end of the month with some money. But then when we achieved that, I graduated to bigger dreams. Eventually, one of the dreams I had from when I started working, and that was to be my own boss, not to be employed by the church, work in the church, but not be employed by the church. Because remember, when somebody pays you, they control you. That dream I achieved. Traveling is another dream. Educating my children. Those are the things that kept me going, even when there were really tough times, and those there were. But dreams is one thing. Goals are the steps to your dreams. And in a sense, Neolife makes this easy for us through the marketing plan, the compensation plan. You start as a distributor, your first goal is manager, senior manager, executive manager, director, and so on. But to achieve those goals, you need to set other goals, like how many people do I plan to talk to this week? How many presentations do I want to attend or give? What training do I want to be involved in? So that is very fundamental. And even if your dreams are small at this stage, like mine were when we started, don't let that worry you. Just go for whatever you got started for. By that time, your belief will have grown, and you will be able to think a little bigger. Because the day you don't have any dreams anymore, things are going to grind to a halt for you. Secondly, are you really serious about your dreams? A lot of people, when you talk to them, say, "Oh, we'd love to make more money," but they never do because they're not serious about that. And this is really something that you've got to check yourself up on. How serious are you about Neolife? Is this just some little part-time thing that you play around with when it suits you? Or is it something that you are seriously building for the future of yourself and the next generation? Third thing, Are you willing to work as hard as it takes? Folks, it's not going to happen without work. And sometimes you've got to work very hard just even to get going or to keep going. But without that, we will never reap the results. So accept that this is not something that you're going to do from the comfort of your lounge suite. And then fourthly, we need to inspect ourselves and ask, am I strong enough to overcome setbacks? Because you will have setbacks. And if you let setbacks pull you down, you're not going to last in the business. You've got to be able to overcome setbacks. Now, you'll learn along the way how to do that more effectively. But don't expect it to be a smooth ride. Life is not fair. Life brings challenges. Life sometimes brings very unpleasant things across our paths. And it's no different in your life. Fifth thing, and this is very important, are you developing the right mindset? Now, what is the right mindset? I remember when we started in a business, it was all about us. We needed to make money. We needed to survive. But over the years, I learned that while that's not wrong, we need to look at our own dreams and our own goals. But if that is the center of our focus, it's not the right mindset for network marketing. What is the right mindset? I want to remind you about what the famous Zig Ziglar said. He said, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. And this speaks so directly into network marketing. You see, if you want to be a director doing at least 4,000 points in a month, you need a team of people, say 2 or 3 senior managers and maybe an executive manager and so on, people that you've helped move up, and they move you up to a level of director. So it's not just about what you want to achieve. It's about helping other people achieve what they want. And the more we succeed in that, the more we will move up ourselves. So this is so crucial. I've seen people go up in the business and drop out completely just because they had this selfish mindset which allowed them to manipulate people and abuse people and lie to people just for short-term gain. So it's all about you. Now, this next thing is we've got to understand that this business, like any other business, is a process. It's like building a house. If you have a shamba or a piece of land and you say, well, I want to build a house here, and next morning you get there and there stands the house, you'll know that is never going to happen. There's a process in building a house, in building anything. Now, the first thing you need to remember is that it takes time to build big. You can build a shack made of cardboard and some plastic in a couple of hours, but you can't build a big house or a big office block in a short period of time. So we must realize that to build a big generational business is going to take time. We always, in the beginning, used to say to people, 2 to 5 years, just to get strong. And then from there, you carry on. A big challenge, and I often remind people of this, is that one of the biggest mistakes people make in network marketing is they expect too much too soon. They expect too much too soon. And when that doesn't happen, they get demotivated. But then they don't expect enough in the long term. Remember that any big race, the winning of the race is not where you start. It's at the end. It's later on. The second thing that we have to keep reminding ourselves about and train our downlines about is that this thing called the 80-20 rule, they also call it the Pareto principle. This applies throughout life. In our situation in network marketing, it simply means 80% of the people we talk to won't, only 20% will. Now, that sounds frightening. But if you understand that that's part of the process, it's nothing we can change. We don't have to try and change it. The 20 can maybe become 30 or in exceptional cases 40, but generally it would be 80-20. So that's nothing to break your head about and become downhearted about. It's just something that we need to accept and understand that is how it is. And that's true not just in network marketing, it's true in any selling, it's true in anything in life. I remember when I started at university, they told us that I think it was only about 30% of people who start actually graduate. And that was the case. In our group that started together, our 7 years of study, only 30% made it. So that's 30-70, but you see the same idea. So what that means is we must go through the many to find the few. We must go through the 80 to get to the 20. Now, I can tell you, if you had 20 director legs, you'd be beyond a 5 diamond. So you don't have to have 200 legs to be a diamond. That few, even 6 legs to be president's team. You don't need 60. So it's not that you've got to have such an overwhelming task to reach an overwhelming goal. But just remind yourself that to get to the right ones, we must go through the crowd. And therefore, we must also accept that a no is not a negative. It just means that specific person is not interested, or they've got some hang-up or some issue. That's their problem. It's not your problem or my problem. That's just part of the process. That's part of the 80. So what we must therefore realize is the more no's we get, the more yeses we'll get. If we don't get enough no's, we're not going to get to enough yeses. So understand the business is a process. You're not going to have it all fall into place in the next month or 2 or 6. We've got to go through many to find the few. And those who are not interested, don't let them drag you down. Just leave them behind. It's their loss, not your loss. So what are the steps in this process? First is, I don't know why it's not showing them one by one, but let's look at them one by one. First is to find and invite people. Now, all of these steps, all 7 of them, and don't try and read to number 7 now, they were supposed to come up one at a time. First, focus on number 1. But all of these steps are skills that you can learn. So you don't have to be good at finding people and inviting people when you start, but as you do it, you learn. And the more you practice, the better you'll get. But there are certain guidelines, and that you've got to learn. The best way of finding and inviting people is not to meet somebody in the street and then try and dump the whole story on them. It's just to find out, are they open to looking at an opportunity to make more money or to have more energy or whatever the case is. And then the rest is to then invite them to a presentation. So that means that you can bring them to a formal presentation, or you can present yourself. So you've got to learn to present. And again, that's something you can learn. But very often you'll find that people won't necessarily sign up right there and then at the end of the presentation. So we need to learn to follow up. The purpose of a meeting is to have another meeting. Don't just leave people and hope they'll come back to you. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on all of this. We don't have time for that tonight. In the process, you'll have to learn to handle objections, and I'm going to talk about that on the next slide. Because you'll come across, after you've presented, you'll come across people bringing up objections. I haven't got the time. I don't know if I can do that, and this and that and the other. So if we don't handle objections well, we're going to spoil the opportunity for many people and therefore for ourselves as well. And then number 5 is, in the end, we've got to close the sale. We've got to get to a point where we get people to commit to either starting or not starting. Don't let it hang in the air. Make, as it were, we don't push people, we don't twist their arm until they sign, but we've got to help them make the decision. And then starting any new distributor well. This means not just signing them up, giving them their kit, but then starting to work with them. Because remember, they know nothing, they've got no experience, they may have very little confidence. And if it's not you, think as a parent with a baby who's got to bring up that baby from very, very small, where the baby is totally dependent on you, to where one day that baby becomes an adult that can function independently of you. And part of this is what Justice have been doing, and what I tried doing as well, is to promoting events and training. Because that is where people will get to see the bigger picture, they'll meet people, they'll get to the heart of the business. So the steps of the process is very simple: finding people, presenting to them, following up, handling their objections, and getting those who are going to say yes, and the others to say no, and then working with the new people. And part of that is promoting the events and the training. So let's talk about handling objections. It's something that you cannot avoid. People are going to make excuses. Now, always remember, an excuse is mostly not the real reason why they won't start. Somebody will perhaps lack the confidence to try something new, to try something that they don't even fully understand, like network marketing. But they're not going to say, oh, no, I don't feel up to it. I don't think I can do it. Some will, but they'd rather use a fashionable excuse like saying, oh, I'm too busy. I haven't got time. Now, that sounds good, busy people. But that busyness is perhaps just an excuse for hiding the real reason. And the real reason may be that they just think they're too useless to do the business. So it's important that we get rid of objections. The first objection, then the next objection, and then the next objection, until we come to the real reason. Because if we can address the reason why they won't or don't want to, then we can guide them better. So the first thing is, pushed the wrong button. The first thing is, never attack somebody. I used to do that. Person tells you, I haven't got the time. Say, oh man, you're stupid. Everybody's got 24 hours. You sleep 8 hours, you work 8 hours. What do you do with the other 8 hours? You see, whenever we attack somebody, we're putting ourselves in opposition to them. And now they've got to defend us against us. I'm attacking you, so you've got to defend. So never attack people. What you do, firstly, is you listen carefully to what they say. Don't listen just to get them to shut up so that you can talk. Let them experience that you're really interested in what they're saying, even if you know it's just an excuse. And then acknowledge their objection. And as an example, somebody says to you, I really don't have time. And say to them, I understand that so well. It was the same for me. I started work 7 o'clock in the morning. until 5 in the evenings, and I still had to work in the evenings sometime. I worked weekends. I so understand it if you say you haven't got time. But let me tell you what I discovered. You see, so now I'm not attacking them. I listened to their objection or their excuse. I acknowledged it, and now I say, but let me tell you what I found. And what I found is you could do with an odd hour or 2 or 3 or 4 in between, and although you'd start more slowly, you'd be able to still build something of value. And then from there you go and say, well, what else would prevent you from starting? See, that's the one objection you've touched on it, and you're now looking for the next. So you ask questions. Maybe if they say they haven't got time, you say, well, I understand that I had this, and so many people come into this business with that challenge. But tell me a little bit more about your situation, your work and so on. And again, when you listen to people, when you show an interest in them, they will like you for that. One of the shortcomings of life today is that people rush so much. We rush past each other. You meet somebody, how do you do? And 2-3 yards further on, oh no, I'm well, thanks. And we're not really connecting. So asking questions, but not too personal. Don't say, how much money have you got in the bank? That's not the kind of question. Person says, I haven't got time. Say, tell me a little about your day. And you're not necessarily going to respond directly to that, but just allowing them to vent, to talk to you, and to hear you listening and not being critical and attacking them. And then you can use stories to address their concerns. My biggest leg comes from Hansie Cronje that many of you would have seen. When he started, he was as busy as I was when we started the business. And what he did 2 nights a week, from after he got home until whatever time in the evening, 2 nights a week he worked, no other time. So he wasn't trying every day to do something, just 2 nights a week. And he actually became a PT before me. So, that's why also attending functions and trainings, you hear other people's stories, and you can say, I heard the other day this one, this, and this, and this. So you use a story to address their concern. And then you include benefits. You could say, well, the benefit is if you even put in a little bit of time that as you duplicate and other people start, you're going to benefit from the time other people put in. So you're swinging it around, you're bringing them to see what benefit it would have if they got rid of that particular objection. And then you close the sale. And the best thing is not to say, do you want to start? Because then they can say yes or no. Try and ask a question that will give you a yes answer. I remember years ago when I first learned this lesson, it was about selling products. Now, if your goal is to sell somebody a Super 10, and you've demonstrated the Super 10 and told them all about it, don't ask them, do you want to buy the Super 10? Because that only gives you a 50% chance of them saying yes. So what you do is you say, well, you save so much with the Super 10, even if you buy just a liter. But if you bought a 5 liter, you'd save even more. So which would you want? Would you want to start with a liter or a 5 liter? So you've given them an option, but both options are yes. Now, very likely, they're not going to go for the 5 liter. That's not a problem because you wanted them to start with the 1 liter in any case. But try and close your sale with a question that doesn't easily lead to a no example. So you could, for instance, say to them, okay, we've gone through all of this. Can you see how you can benefit by starting, even busy as you are? So they now think in terms of benefits. Never ask people, what do they think? Because now they bring up all the further negatives. Or don't ask them, do you think you can do it? That's stupid. They may have pointed out that they don't think they can, and you tell them about people who came from nowhere, lived in a squatter camp, and yet became director or whatever the case may be, and explain to them that, through the training and support, the benefits that you have of all of that, it doesn't matter where you are. And then say to them, if imagine if you could succeed, how that would change your life. So you paint for them a positive mental image. How would that change your life? I say, oh, yeah, that would be lovely. Say, okay, well, we've got different kit options. Which kit would you like to start with? Now, if they say the TNN kit or they say this kit, they've said yes. Don't ask them, do you want to start? Because that's yes or no. So, having said all of this, I wanted to let you understand that all of these things revolve around you and me. We've got the company support and infrastructure, which can't be better. If we have a team developing under us, it frees us up to have residual income, to have a business growing far beyond where we can reach ourselves. But we are at the heart of this. It's what we make of Neolife. It's how we develop a team. And developing this team is a process. This process is not easy. It requires work. We've got to be motivated. Therefore, we've got to be very much dream-focused. And then we've got to learn the skills, inviting, presenting, follow-up, and so on. And those can be learned. But you won't just learn them from reading or listening to other people. That is necessary. You've got to practice as well. And then handling objections is very important, because that is the final hurdle towards getting people to commit or to not commit. And so I want to leave you with the last thought that I think is very important to get and understand. And that is, never compare yourself with others. In this process of building the business, you might look at people and say, oh, I could never be like them. And that's demotivating. You never need to be like anybody else. You and I need to be the best we can be. That's all that counts. It's not Charlie Bolton or Justice or Dennis, or whoever is at the heart of your business. It's nobody else but you. So your challenge is not to look at the Charlie Bolton or even me or whoever else and think, oh, well, I could never be like that. On the other hand, what sometimes happens is people have some success and now they think they're better than others. That's negative as well. Just know that, and I wish you would accept it and believe this, that God made you with the talents and the abilities you need to succeed with your life. You don't need my talents and abilities. You could develop some of them. You don't need that of anybody else. You've got what you need. Our challenge is to use what we have. In the Bible, there's the story of the king who went away and he gave 3 of his servants some talents. Those days it was large sums of money. The one guy didn't do anything with what he was given. And the king dealt harshly with him when he came back. The other two, the one did much more than the other one, but the one who was given more did more. So the king didn't come down on the one who did less. He did well with what he had. The other one did well with what he had. That's the important point. And that's one of the things I love about this business. It gives us the opportunity to come out of a very ordinary life, where our life might really not be meaningful, or where we might not really contribute much, and elevate us to where we could never maybe have even imagined ourselves to be. So here we have Neolife, a life-changing opportunity, an opportunity that I thank God for every day of my life, that can give you new life in ways that you can perhaps not even imagine. But then you've got to understand that if it's to be, it's up to me. That's what you should say to yourself. You are at the heart of your business, but you can do it. I promise you, you can do it. You can do it. So, Justice, that's me for now. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful meeting tomorrow at Lakeview, and safe travel back to Kinshasa, Kampala, and all the best for you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Jaja.
Hi, birthday boy.
Hey, yes,
Well done.
thank you. Thank you for a great sharing. And we are always very honored to listen to you. Every time I listen to you personally, I feel that I should continue listening to you. You have really been an inspiration to us. Your message enters even in the bone marrow. With your experience, the time you've been in the business, we really thank God that we are blessed to have you as our judge. Our prayer as Team Lion Kings is God to give you more time on this planet as
Thank you.
to touch our lives. And what we can promise you as Western region, we are going to make you proud of your input. We are going to step up. In fact, you are about to see us shine. That is one of the ways that we can appreciate your work. So thank you very much that you have shared with us, even on my birthday. And may the Lord continue to reward you and bless you.
Thank you. And you, and I'm already so impressed and proud of what you're doing. In 2-3 weeks' time, we're going to Victoria Falls. I just so wish you were already there where you could go with us.
Wow.
But I know you're on your way, and that will be such a wonderful, wonderful thing to have as a reward. So thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Jaja. We are joining you soon. Very soon, we are going to join you. Thank you, Jaja. So to the rest of the team, thanks very much for attending. Tomorrow we have a great event in Mbarara City. So if you know anyone in Mbarara, Isinjiro, Ntungamo, Sanga, all those places, use this opportunity to develop your business in western part of Uganda. Make sure you invite. Use this opportunity to have people. Now is the time to build a business. So thank you very much for everyone that has attended. Get on your phone and invite people. You don't know, you never know. Tomorrow you might invite someone who's going to become a director in your team. So let's go out, share with people, and make tomorrow's meeting a success. Thank you very much, everyone, and may God bless you. Have a blessed night. Bye-bye.